There was a woman who set her husband on fire, killed him for raping her 7-year-old daughter. She found him, murdered him.
And yes, she deserves the death penalty. It is
what?
She can, no, listen.
If you support the death penalty, please take the light to the left. If you do not support the death penalty, take the light to the right. First statement, step forward if you agree. If you do not agree, if it is not true for you, stay exactly where you are. Having a death penalty deters people from committing crimes.
I don't know that any regular human, the average human, which is who we're speaking about, would risk their life when that survival instinct is so incredibly ingrained and so strong.
That's the foundation of my entire argument, the reason why I stay on the left-hand side. Not because I feel that capital punishment should be handed out, dished out to everyone that commits a crime. No, I'm talking about the idea that, in my opinion, capital punishment is a deterrent. It influences the way people behave. Look at Michigan. Michigan abolished capital punishment in 1858.
Exactly.
Look at the crime rate in Michigan right now.
Ridiculous.
So let me ask you guys. Your child grabs a vase purposefully. You see them, grab the vase, smash it on the ground, look you dead in the eye. Are they deserving of a punishment?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Are they aware of their actions?
They're 4 years old.
Exactly.
They looked you right in the eye.
So they know,
Exactly.
so they know what they did was wrong.
But they know what they're doing wrong.
But they're 4 years old.
No. They know what they're doing wrong. It's like a challenge. You know, they're going to continue to do the same thing over and over, and they're going to contest.
What
You're
if I told you that
1 to
instead
5.
of punishing that child, you spoke to that child? People, though, might not have all the information in the way that a 4-year-old doesn't have all the information.
Disagreeers?
I really don't remember any time someone was like, you know, I really want to kill someone, but that death penalty, man, oh. No, it just doesn't make sense to me that that's a deterrent. If anything, a human connection to someone, like to themselves or their family or someone they care about, has been the biggest deterrent in my idea, of course.
Anyone can be rehabilitated back into society.
Absolutely. Absolutely, y'all. Here's the thing. I think this is probably the most hippie part about my whole thinking is that unending optimism for people, that I know better than to give up on someone.
I agreed with the first half of the sentence, but not the second, in that I think anybody can be rehabilitated. That doesn't mean that they're going back into society. There are options for somebody to live a full, complete life and not be a danger to society.
You also have to look at it with child molestation cases. I mean, how are you going to send someone that did a crime like that is so heinous? And it's happened many times where they release these people constantly and they're still doing the same thing.
No matter how much you try to rehabilitate someone, they also have to want to be rehabilitated in order for that to work out.
Accept the help and want to
So
get
that's
over
the
it.
thing, we're assuming people don't want to be rehabilitated. That's my whole point, is that if you can believe
Also,
that people
there's a
don't want to
cost
be
involved.
rehabilitated though, then you have to also believe the possibility that they could redeem themselves and do something amazing after that rehabilitation happens.
For those people that are just like past rehabilitation, are they deserving of death? Is that what we've come to?
It really depends on, again,
Circumstances.
what the circumstances,
of course.
what this crime is.
But that's where we get into like, who are we to say who's deserving or not? We need to actually know their entire story and who they are as a person, their upbringing, what got them into that situation, their mental stability. All of those things can be taken more into consideration.
But that goes to say
Right?
that once you read their book that you're going to be empathetic, and it's clear that they've taken the
Well,
side.
you can't have empathy when families have lost their
Yeah.
kids due to
There's
those killings.
no
That's
way,
the
shape, or form.
entire most important time to have empathy.
Yes.
That's the whole point.
Yep.
Is when families have
I
gone through
can't-
that
I
to
can't see
understand
that.
what the family's going through on top of what the person went through.
Everyone deserves a second chance.
Personally, I don't think everybody deserves a second chance, but I do believe that there are people who do deserve it. So it just depends, again, like I was mentioning earlier, it depends on what kind of crime they're committing. If they killed somebody, I don't believe that they deserve a second chance. But if they did like a lesser crime, like they're stealing something from a store, like candy or something like that, or a TV or a bike, I do believe that they deserve a second chance.
Here's the thing for me. This is why it gets hypocritical to me in this kind of discussion, where we all think about the other person of the victim or something like that in terms of second chances. But the whole biggest idea, we really confront this idea, is if it was us. Would I want a second chance if I knew I messed up on something, however heinous or big it was, or however small it was? I want that second chance for me, and for at least my family and friends. That's the least I want. So that's why I know it applies to everyone.
I think it depends on what the second chance is. That doesn't mean that there is absolute re-entry into society. A second chance often means giving someone their life.
Just say a horrendous crime that someone raped, then burned someone alive. It's a horrendous crime. To just let them out of society, that's too much of a second chance. But within the confines of prison for such a heinous act, that you do get a little bit more.
Only one. Yeah. Just want to go back to the statement. People deserve chances. Does every single person deserve a second chance? In my opinion, no, because maybe what the crime that they committed. Then you're talking about, I would love to have the chance to have a second chance. There's a difference between I would love to have it and I deserve it.
I think I'm a little confused about where it is that this line is drawn, because that makes the difference between a second chance, between life and death, between consideration and no consideration.
I think it does start with obviously the crime that you commit. There's a difference between intentionally and unintentionally killing a person.
Okay, so what if I put a pillow over a woman's face versus if I chop her up?
You're still
That's
killing a person.
So ending someone's life, that is the height of violence.
Pre-med, if it was calculated, I don't think you deserve a second chance. And in my opinion, for a crime like that, no, I don't care. I have no remorse, I have no mercy for anyone who kills anyone.
Okay, there was, I spoke about this the other day. There was a woman who set her husband on fire, killed him for raping her 7-year-old daughter. She found him, murdered him. That was not self-defense.
That's revenge.
It was premeditated.
That's revenge. That's
yes,
my opinion.
and yes, she deserves the death penalty. It is still, she can, listen, she can go through the legal I don't care how much it hurts. I understand that. I understand it, but you still need to go through the legal process like everybody else. You don't take it into your own hands to go and
So you guys talk about the death penalty like it's global justice, like you're doing something for the world, like you're removing a threat. But that woman was doing some global justice if I ever heard it.
That was not her right to do, though. That's not how it
How
works.
is it that you say that a jury of your peers, that we as citizens, we as the constituency, we have that right then? What, because we have numbers, because we have some process?
A death penalty is a state-sanctioned homicide. It still is a homicide, but it is decided by multiple people.
I know.
At that point,
here's the thing. I think we need to go above the legal system in this dialogue, because it was legal to have slaves.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
Exactly.
that was
So whenever we
legal
say
to
legal
also-
system, we have to go beyond this.
And that was
This
also
is where our
abolished.
ideas transcend what we're talking about.
If someone genuinely apologizes for a crime, their punishment should be reduced.
Duh. I just want to. The thing is, like, of course, it's the hardest part of this concept, this idea, is how do you judge someone's genuine authenticity in their apologeticness, right? I specifically remember a case, Stanley Tookie Williams, this guy really convinced me that he was apologetic for his crime. And the thing was, he believed he didn't even commit the crime. He was innocent of the crime, but he was still apologetic for his past crimes that he had done in his life and the things that he did get convicted for. So when I saw that he made a children's book about preventing other kids from actually ending up where he ended up as a gang member and leader of the Crips, I believe, that was enough for me, where he's actually going out of his way to prevent future crime from happening for other people. I'm like, all right, I accept your apology, man. I accept that big time. Man.
There's no way of validating an apology. I mean, like, how do you know if they're apologizing, they're lying? That happens a lot. I mean, there are people who seem so genuine and behind their eyes, they're not, they're not truthful.
Let's just say a gang-on-gang violence. Just say that a gang member did a hit on a house of a leading opposing gang member and their family and just say, well, a shooting, he killed 3 people. Just say, eventually, he did apologize. It doesn't matter. He still killed someone, and he should still serve a life sentence for it.
What if this person did so much to redeem themselves or account for that and actually showed their genuine apologeticness behind it? What if
I do not
That's
care.
the whole thing.
I do
You
not
don't
care.
care.
I don't
Okay.
care. Is that they committed murder, they
okay.
get life in prison. No death penalty, they get life in prison.
So if they became Mother Teresa after this?
Nope.
No?
Life in prison.
Okay.
They get to
Got it.
see their life behind bars.
I think it's important to consider the due stress that this gentleman is under. He's in a gang lifestyle, in a gang environment where he's gonna get his ass beat if he does not go make this hit. Even in military crimes,
Yep.
like in World War II, all those people that followed orders, yes, they were guilty of those crimes.
There are people who oppose. There are people who tried to, within Hitler's own group, tried to kill Hitler. You still, as an individual, chose to do an action.
You can't count on somebody else to have courage in the capacity that you do. You can't count on somebody to be as intelligent or as brave as you are.
If we just allow someone just to skirt by like that, we're giving a bad example to everybody else in society, and they're going to think that they can just repeat the same thing, and they're going to get away with it.
I believe that anyone can forgive anyone given enough time.
I just want to sit on this side. Can you do that? Right? Yes.
Sit right here this time.
Yes. I mean, once I read a story about a mother that forgave the killer of her child, I'm like, okay, I believe in it. I believe anything is possible now.
Imagine your mother for a second.
Oh, shite.
If someone were to kill your mother, would you be able to forgive that person?
No.
Eventually. It'd be hard.
The question was
It'd be
with
hard,
time,
though.
anyone could.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say yes with sure with time.
Unless you've really experienced something like that, you won't know yourself, really. You only know what you feel right now, but unless you were in that motion where it did happen, that mentality, you don't know.
Way to traumatize people with that question.
Oh, for real.
Yeah, first of all, guys, for asking that question about your mother, I applaud you for even giving the consideration to forgive that person. And for myself personally, if something like that did happen to my mum, I would find it so hard for myself to forgive that person who committed that act, knowing that he has destroyed my life, also has destroyed our family's lives.
I think I would eventually forgive, but I know there's people out there who would always hold a grudge.
I think it justify someone killing my mother. I mean, I can't see myself forgiving someone like that.
I heard a great concept about immediately forgiving someone and finding the reasons to forgive them later. Like that actually helped me find peace of mind, knowing that that's the guaranteed, like, where I should end up anyway, you know?
So back to this concept of our own mothers. If my mother were to commit murder, I would vouch for her to receive capital punishment.
I can't sit here and be a hypocrite and say that I'm for capital punishment. If my own mother would to commit a crime that's so heinous, I would be for, even for her.
The law applies to everyone.
Everyone, even my own mother.
Yeah. If law enforcement has to abide by the laws, if us citizens have to abide by law, yeah, mom should too.
This is a very troubling thing for me that anybody walked up to these chairs, because one, it's something that I question morally and emotionally about our society, that we're not already crying or feeling some kind of feeling about our own mother being on death row, because now we can easily imagine, if we take it one more step further, that every single person on death row is somebody's mother or father or sister or brother.
We can't escape that we'll be sad, but at the same time, they committed a crime and they have to pay for it.
That's it for you?
Why
That's
does
it?
it have to be the death penalty, though? Why does it have to be the death penalty?
Like, there's
why,
no discussion,
why would I be
there's no
for the
deeper
death penalty in the
emotional-
first place on other crimes?
Punishment,
Sex
yeah,
offenders, why would I be
punishment,
for? And what if they were a sex offender themselves? That doesn't exclude them because they're my parents.
Yeah.
I am afraid that there are innocent people on death row.
I think we can all agree
Yep.
Yeah.
that there has been instances. There's no denying that. There's no denying that fact.
Isn't the
Or
current
it could be more too.
Yeah.
There could be more people.
The current count, I believe, ever since President Carter, is 100 people have been found not guilty due to basically witnesses lying, DNA, and other such things. So 100 people is not a small amount.
Yeah, if one person is innocent, that's enough for me to not trust the legal system. And on top of that, in terms of corruption, racism, all these kind of things that affect our whole legal system, I don't know why it's taboo to say that. Like, yeah, we need to admit that more, and it's gonna be okay. Like, let's admit it and move forward. Can I just hug you?
Yeah, it is.
How is your mom?
She's good.
She's good?
Yeah.
Okay. And how's your mom doing?
She chilling. She chilling. Yeah, she's safety. She chilling.
Okay.
That's a wrap. Good job, guys.
Oh my gosh, that was
Hey guys, this is Jason from Jubilee. We hope you enjoyed another wonderful episode of Middle Ground. Let us know in the comments below what you thought, as well as let us know if you have any ideas for any new episodes. As you can tell, we're listening to you guys, and a lot of these are your suggestions, so thank you. Make sure you click here for more videos, click here to subscribe, and we will see you guys next time.